Greetings and welcome you all to our roundtable. My name is Father Freddy, and I'm honored this afternoon to have a guest speaker. He's going to tell us what it is and where it comes from. And once again, our viewers, we welcome you to this roundtable. Who is here with me today?
My name is Jolan Joseph.
Jolan Joseph. Are you a member of this church?
Yes, I am.
Since when?
So I joined this church actually in college around like 2013.
2013? Guess what? I came in this country towards the end of 2013. So
okay.
it's like when you were still in the country, you were doing the church.
Oh, cool.
So you see, yeah. And you said you joined here when you were in college?
Yes. So I'm originally from St. Charles Parish.
St. Charles. So you were somewhere there before you came here.
Mm-hmm. So I went to Our Lady of Most Holy Rosary Catholic Church.
In St. Charles?
It's in Hornville, Louisiana.
Yes.
So actually the Sumerian this morning, he was from Luland. So I actually knew Holy Family. So it was kind of like a coming circle moment.
So you said you came here at 2013 in college, and right now where are you in your education? Is it in college or?
So actually, I am getting my master's in social work.
Oh,
I finished May 1st. So I
almost graduating.
Yep.
It has been a long journey.
Yes, it has.
So you are graduating master in social worker.
Yep.
So if I ask you, so you came here at college, and how did you find this church?
So that's a good question.
Yes.
So I actually was invited to this church by the organist, Christopher Jackson.
Yes.
I was looking for a church home because back home is like 30, 40 minutes away.
Yes.
So I wasn't going to drive. I didn't want to drive 40 minutes to get to a church. I wanted something a little bit closer.
Yes.
So Chris was like, how about you come to the West Bank?
Yes.
Come with me to church one day.
Yes.
And I came. It was a different feeling for me because actually this is my first time being in a Black Catholic church.
Yes.
Partially because back home, it's a different organization.
Yes.
It's, not much of us
Yes.
around.
So the spirituality, from church to church, the spirituality varies, whereby some churches come and pray and sit down, some churches come and pray and sing and clap and dance.
Exactly.
So the spirituality is really different. I'm so impressed to hear that you got to know the parish through another parishioner, and that's what we call it, evangelization.
Yeah.
And
also, other parishioners here, once I got here, encouraged me to stay long term.
Sure.
Even after I graduated from Xavier, and I just started working in my career at Tulane, I continued coming to Mass because I love, coming to church, especially in a lively parish such as this one.
So you reminded me of the story of the disciples. The disciples, how Jesus called the disciples, each one was doing their own work. Some were fishermen, some were tax collectors, and he went and called them to come and see, to come and be with him. And when they came, they never went back. So it's like when you put the invitation from a parishioner, it's through evangelization, to say, come and see us, come to church, and we've been here forever.
And like the seminarian said this morning, it was like a calling.
Yes.
I heard the calling from other people. I heard my inner calling, wanting to find a home parish. So it, was exciting to kind of feel that moment.
I'm so glad more and more to hear the word calling, and that you got it references to the seminary who was sent there. Is St. Bosco, it comes from the diocese, came to join us this morning. Since yesterday to share with us his call, his vocation. And you say, if you hear say, coming here was like a call, that's very beautiful. Sometimes people don't think about a call, they think maybe I'm here in the church because let's go to the church and go back home. Maybe it's some, not all. Some they feel like they feel the same way. I'm called to be here.
And I kind of felt like that at my home church, but I also did get a call into altar serve as a young youth.
So you used to be an altar server,
Mm-hmm.
and I know you belong to many organizations here. You are the adult ministry, and which other organizations are you in?
So I'm in, the choir.
You're in a choir,
Soulful Voices.
or the Soulful Voice, and which.
And then I'm also in the Archdiocese Mass Choir.
Oh, my
which is a
goodness.
combination of all Black Catholic churches on both West Bank and East Bank.
So you are in mass choir, and you are in church choir here.
Yep.
And if we ask you which voice to sing,
So
your microphone is
okay, sorry.
yes.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. So I actually started as a soprano.
Yes.
But Chris noticed I was like struggling a little bit. I couldn't hit all the notes, and he's like, how about you try alto? And at first I'm like, no, that's out of my comfort zone. But you gotta recognize, that's another calling. Not everything is meant for you to be at. So maybe it wasn't meant to be alto
Yes.
instead of soprano.
Yes.
So when I switched over to alto, I found that my voice got stronger. I kind of was able to project more. So it really changed kind of way how I use my voice to sing praise.
So as you sing soprano.
So I started as a soprano,
Yes.
but now I'm an alto.
Okay, beautiful. I'm going to switch your microphone. I'm going to give you another microphone. It's okay?
Yeah.
Please give us an excuse as I get another microphone here.
Okay.
Very fast, yes. Let's try this one. It's not tiny. This one be more. Yes,
Can you hear me?
oh, that's better.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe go for maybe go. Yes.
All right, that'll work.
Yeah, we use what we have to make sure our viewers can hear us very well. So, sorry about this. Our microphone, we need to make it more organized, but it's more audible. So,
No problems.
sorry for taking us through that, but I started to learn more about who you are, and it's a great privilege that you receive a call to be in the church, and you share talents or gifts that God has given to you. You give back to God by joining the choir, praising God, worshiping by using your alto voice to sing, praise God, and thank you. And I know whichever way for God, you never leave us without abandonment. God always reward us for what we do in His kingdom. So thank you. So you went to Xavier University. Now you are doing your masters in social worker. And so today, as we come this afternoon, which topic are you sharing with us today to the viewers that you want to inspire? You want to attract our attention. What's the topic you want to share with us today?
So I want to talk a little bit about what I do on the day-to-day basis outside of church. So I work at Tulane in the Department of Surgery, and I do clinical research.
So you want to clinical research. So, and what's the major topic here today?
So I want to talk to you all about emergency research.
Emergency research.
Mm-hmm.
So, emergency research. Is that what you are really doing in a school?
So, sort of. It's actually a newer field of research that they're getting into. Because a lot of times in those traumatic events like car accidents, gunshot victims, even like major stabbings or like calls. Like anywhere where you need blood as a result of blood loss. We're starting to kind of look at those patients and seeing how can we help to the healing journey in order for them to recover faster.
You know, just a few minutes ago, let me get my phone with me here. You see, as I'm on the television, I keep on walking up and down. Let me something here. So, I was looking on the, I was just typing here, just research to look for the definition of emergency research.
Okay.
And I found out something to do with emergency research is when treatment needs to be given directly, urgently, and it's necessary to take urgent action for the purpose of the study. So, when we talk about emergency research, do you think in our communities take it for granted and we never think about emergency research?
A lot of times, the research isn't brought up, especially in our communities, especially due to stigma. We have a history of, researchers coming in our communities, taking, data from us, and then we're not hearing anything back from it, or even gaining anything monetarily. Similar to, like, for example, like Henrietta Lacks, where they took some of her cells and they used it for research purposes, but they didn't get permission from her in order to have those cells taken from her.
So you are saying sometimes they take samples, data from us, we never hear back.
Correct.
Just like say, what's the benefit? What's the purpose?
So the benefit
I mean, like if you say they come, they take samples, data, and we never hear back. It's like those people have done that to me, they have not benefited me because I've not had the feedback.
Correct.
So
now,
for what you're doing, how does it help like a person like me in the community?
okay. So ways that it helps in the community is, for example, we're informing the public. So in order for someone now to do research or conduct research, they have to get informed consent from the subject. So they're providing information about, okay, what study we're doing, why we're doing it, this is why we're giving you the treatment. So a part of that is, making sure that the subject is aware that, hey, before you do anything, like take any blood, collect any data, I need to be okay with it.
Yes. Beautiful. So, that in this research, what I'm hearing from you, when they say they come, they take data, samples, and you never hear from them. So, how can do we need a voice?
Yes, we certainly do. And it's from beginning to end. For example, I have a research trial that's going to be starting in a couple months at UMC and at East Jefferson and West Jefferson. And it's looking at using calcium and vasopressin, which are some common drugs that they use to help people recover from blood loss, but they're using it in a way like as soon as the person comes to the hospital or if they're interacting in an ambulance. Like, if we give these drugs early, could they help to prevent serious blood loss? So in some cases, doing the research first before getting consent, which in those cases is called EFIC. And EFIC is called like exceptions from informed consent. So with emergency research, there's an exception where they'll do the procedure first because they know, okay, this is going to save your life, versus having to wait to give consent to the patient and they might not be able to survive without that drug. So there's kind of like a new way of thinking, like, oh, we want to get that drug first to help save them before we get the consent. Now, we will get consent once a patient is stable, and if they say, oh, I don't want to participate in the study, then they're withdrawn, meaning that no more data is supposed to be collected on the patient.
And how does the voice comes in there? Let me go on the level of the church. As a church, how can we use our voice as a church into emergency research?
So early on, studies usually conduct community consultations. So they go out into the public, they ask their opinion, like, hey, if you see this brochure about this drug, would this be something you'll be willing to be a part of? If not, we can give them an opt-out bracelet so that if we ever see them coming into the hospital in those traumatic conditions, we're able to honor that, hey, this person doesn't want this drug due to research. They can still get standard of care and they'll still help save their life, but they won't do anything that is outside that standard of care.
Oh, wonderful. And how do you as a person, do you use your voice in the community through this emergency research?
So I go out and definitely make sure I notify as many people as I can about studies. Like, for example, I'm going to leave some brochures in the back so that way anyone who wants to read about the studies coming up, that they're able to put their input. There's even like a QR code in the back where you can anonymously talk about your issues and able to fill out the survey. So kind of like ways speaking up, making sure that you're heard, are ways you can kind of spread information in the community and make the public aware. I also want to mention with like my internship with social work, I had to do an internship with my social work degree, where I work with a community organization called Silence is Violence, and their whole purpose is to help victims of crime and their families. And what they do is they go out in the communities every time someone is shot or someone is murdered. They'll go out and speak to the family, offer them support, resources that they might not get being a part of with the investigation and with the police department. So kind of linking those community supports together helps us to have a voice in our community and making sure that we're aware as well.
Beautiful. So you use your voice by talking to people, internship, sharing brochures, and is there another way to really voice your emergency research to the community?
Also advocating too, and then putting out in writings, putting on social media, putting out in the paper, just making sure like the word is getting out, and especially to those people that this study will affect.
Maybe you take it back a little bit, maybe a bit where how does emergency research benefit me? Okay, me. I'm referring myself as a community, me.
So emergency research is benefiting you in particular?
I find myself me as a community, okay? I represent a community. In general, community, not me, community, a society.
So emergency research just benefits the community because we find out ways to help people get better, faster, by providing resources and interventions that we know we work. And then we need to study these in order for us to know if these interventions really work or not. So by conducting research in those in situations, we're able to collect data to where we're able to report, hey, if we change the way we activate like a mass blood transfusion, or the way we give a drug in an ambulance, maybe we'll give less drug because we know that, hey, they don't need as much of this drug in order to survive to get to the hospitals.
Oh, beautiful. Wonderful. So, I'm so happy to hear, because this is something new for me. And when you say you go talking about this in the community, the people, you really open up their eyes. You open up, it's like shedding light to someone's knowledge. We can't never feel like, I never knew about what is this research. But now
I get that a lot. Like whenever I like approach someone in the community, they'll be like, "Oh, this is the first time I'm hearing about emergency research," and that's because that population usually has been like off the limits. Like we want to do the same way, all the time, but we realize over time, that one way may have been wrong. Like for example, the way that we give blood at a hospital. Usually with like a transfusion, they used to give whole blood, but now they were like, well back then they were like, oh, this is the waste. It's better to maybe break it up and give like components. So they might give you like platelets, or they might give you red blood cells. But now they're realizing, hey, it might be more beneficial to give people whole blood, but maybe a little bit less. And then maybe you can spike it with a drug that will help to coagulation, which means that it'll help stop the bleeding faster, versus giving a whole bunch of blood and we're just wasting it. So kind of things like that. So if you like in the community and you're giving blood, they might get 7 or 8 units from you, and then they're maybe wasting it at the hospital because they might be giving that drug in that blood in the wrong way. So kind of that conservation will be also beneficial for the community.
Because so when I see like maybe you talk about consent. For instance, if an accident is somewhere, car accident, and someone is unconscious, and the ambulance comes, or whatever people come for, they want to administer immediately the medication this person, and this person is unconscious. What's going to do the consent?
So if the person is unconscious and no next of kin is around, the paramedic is going to do whatever standard of care is necessary to ensure their survival. But in the case of emergency research, if they fit certain parameters, that if they gave a drug and it's life-saving, but it's a part of research, they would still give it because they would want to. Their thought is they're saving that person's life. They're not giving it for like monetary reasons or anything like that.
Do you think sometimes people refuse medicine in situations of emergency? They say, no, I don't need medicine.
Yeah.
This. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So some people believe, for example, they don't believe in blood transfusions. So in those cases, we respect, that right. Normally, if you don't want to have a blood transfusion, they would have some sort of like opt-out bracelet or a card in their wallet in order to say, hey, I don't want to get blood transfusions. Or it'll be listed in their advanced directives, for example, if they're a little bit older. So just making sure, like, if you don't want like any research, definitely reach out to the appropriate channels so you can get like an opt-out bracelet or opt-out card to say, hey, I don't want that drug or I don't want that treatment.
So there's always a choice voluntarily. Sometimes when someone is conscious, you can voluntarily.
Yeah, there are ways to still voluntary decline, even if you are unconscious.
Oh, yeah? If you're unconscious?
Yes. So if they see like an opt-out bracelet or like an opt-out card, so they will be able to tell like, they don't want that intervention. Yes. So for example, with this emergency research study with Cavalier, the name is Cavalier, I didn't mention it. But basically, if you wanted an opt-out bracelet, you can either reach out to the website or call the number on the brochure. And they can give you a bracelet either in person or mail it to you. So that way you can wear it and say, hey, I don't want to be a part of this.
So you can decline emergency medication treatment when you are still okay in life.
Yeah.
And you can have something on you, and then you can say, if something happens to me at this time, I don't need emergency, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Even if you were unconscious, you can see that from that bracelet. I don't want it, so they'll do standard of care within your wishes.
Wow. I was going to ask you a question, but this question is very sensitive. I don't know what you must be going to give. You sure you want to? Can I ask this question?
Go ahead, and we'll see where it goes.
So, the question is about do you think emergency treatment, when I read this definition, read for me this. Read it out.
Yep, I got you. So emergency research is when treatment needs to be given urgently and is necessary to take urgent action for the purposes of the study.
Yes. So, there's a need to administer medication. Urgent action needed. So, if there's urgent action needed, do you think we should be open? The question is, we should all be open for that emergency treatment, or it doesn't matter? It's best.
So,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. And the short answer is
because at that time I'm unconscious.
Yeah.
And these people are coming. They want to spare my life. And I've already put no.
Yeah.
So I'm stopping there. But so do you think we should be open to emergency research, or it's okay?
I will say that it is your choice. It is your choice. It is your voice. You make the decisions of what you want and don't want. So if you are wearing something that says, I don't want it, I, as a healthcare professional, should honor that wish. And even in the realms of social work, we teach in our code of ethics respect for persons. We allow our clients to make their decisions on their own, autonomously.
I like that. I like the code of ethics. Respect the patient, someone's decision. I like that. And you can't go beyond someone. You can't. So yeah, that's good. But I was just giving that. To me, just giving a universal approach. I would like to say, well, I think everyone should be given. I'm not giving from the standard of the ethical conduct, code of ethics. I'm giving from outside that ethical perimeters.
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe I should anybody should receive emergency research or medication. But I mean, I do understand people, even the judge, we have something called the directives. Church directives, there are things that's supposed to be done this way. There's a teaching how the judge looks at the situations.
And that's the same with research too. Research follows a code of ethics. voice.
Yes.
And we're also supposed to respect, people's decisions. So whether or not they want to do something or not, as far as the research goes, we explain what the research is, we provide them an opportunity to accept or decline, and then from there, they're also provided a copy which they can read over themselves. And at any time, if you ever signed a consent for research and want to take it back, you can do that as well. Mm-hmm.
It's to have a voice.
Yeah.
So, talk about that. You exercise your voice, you exercise your freedom. And I heard you in our conversation said something to do with you're an advocate. So there are many people who want to be advocates, advocating for others in different circumstances. What happens if someone is scared to use his or her voice? Use in particular.
Well, at one point I actually was scared to use my voice. Like I had to kind of get courage over time. And part of the ways I, got able to speak my voice was through support of others. Like with the church, like I got support of my friends, other parishioners. Through my internship, I got support from my supervisors, my coworkers, to be able to speak to victims of crimes after those sensitive situations where, they've lost a loved one. Their healing journey isn't going to go away, after the funeral. Their healing journey is long-term, and just providing that support over time kind of strengthens your own voice. And being able to help others continually.
Beautiful. Today, the first reading from the Acts of Apostles, there's a man called Saul. Saul used to destroy the church. He didn't say all bad things about Saul before he converted to Paul. So Saul, when he was converted, he wanted God to use his voice to build again, to receive reconciliation. But Paul wasn't received. People are trying to kill him because of his past, for his history, his past experience. So as they tried to kill him, there's another friend of his, Barnabas, came and gave him support. And Paul regained courage and support, and was able to voice his message. And today, because of Barnabas and because he came out of his fear, today we can see the Bible's full of letters to support. Why? Because of support. I think when we get support from other people, families, friends, and maybe church members, as you say, you can reach our goals. Yeah. Sometimes when you have no support from others, you find yourself thirsty, whatever you want to do, you feel like you can't do it.
And we also need to support each other as a church too. Each and every one of us is going through something day by day. And, the fact that, you come together at church every Sunday, you can ask someone, hey, how you doing? How's your mom been? How's your sister been? By asking those questions and kind of getting to know people, it really develops personal connections and strengthens that support. Whether we have times of need, we can run to other individuals in the church and talk to them and kind of have that active listening ear to where we're able to support each other in the church, and then it might spread out to the community where you're bringing people in because they see how strong of a support system we have at All Saints.
Thanks so very much. And once again, I'm so happy that you came to share with us, the viewers, about emergency research. When it's very important, urgent to give active medicine at that time. And also to share your background, what you do, the church, the school, the community. And before I know you only had half an hour, we have to take 10 minutes extra, which is fine, no problem. Is there another thing that you feel that you want to share with us before we round up our round table?
Yeah. I actually want to quote something on my shirt.
Please, I see.
Um,
Silence is betrayal. Betrayal.
Yep.
By Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Well, tell me about that.
So that's actually a very important quote that the organization I intern at, Silence Violence, their message was, whenever you see gun violence in the community, that silence is you betraying that community. So it's important to speak up on issues, speak up whenever you hear things in regards to violence against others, and be that support for individuals that are experiencing that violence. And it's unfortunate that, violence has occurred to us so close to our church home, but we need to recognize that as a community, we should come together and support one another.
Beautiful. Thank you, Shwari. You just mentioned we have a committee just called social outreach, and it's to do something to do with crime, violence. I think I'm reaching out to them to see what we can do for our community, especially for what's happening in our community. And so once again, thank you. So did you share everything? I see you have all the visuals here. Did you say anything about this? You want to share about this? Or everything has been covered?
Yeah, everything has been covered for the most part. If you want some specifics about one of the studies that I am working on, I will leave some brochures in the back, and then I will also include a link under the YouTube where they can click and read about it as well.
Yeah, so we're going to leave all these rituals about the church.
Yes.
So you can read more about who you are and what this was also about. Wonderful. But there's something very important that we didn't do. However, we're going to do it at the end. No one can do without God. I became so excited and happy to have you here with me and with our viewers. But always God first. And always God is always everywhere. So I want to thank you all for working with prayer. I thank all our viewers for listening. I'm sorry for my voice is too hard, not good enough, but we have made it.
Yes, we did.
I know you've been so busy the whole weekend. You saw you in the morning, the music, you have choir, and then you came back this afternoon and you were studying, doing your researches, you have to work. You say it's sacrifice to be here this afternoon.
And also quote the motto, we come this far by faith.
Yeah. So thank you once again, and you wanna make how they say it, shout somebody.
No, I don't want to do it. But I will shout out Silence Violence. It's a great organization. If you ever want to volunteer at events or donate voluntarily to the organization, they are wonderful and they help victims of crime.
I just can say
I mean, I would rather, promote, philanthropy over, hey, mom.
Yeah. Right, thank you once again. To the viewers, once again, thank you. Is there a prayer that you love so much that you want to conclude with before we end our round table show?
Yeah. I will say the Hail Mary. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and in the hour of death. Amen.
In the name of the Father,
the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
We thank you for giving us. And once again, what's your name?
Jelon Joseph.
Jelon Joseph. Tulane University Research.
The Department of Surgery and Clinical Research.
We look forward to celebrate you as you graduate your master's. Amen.
Amen.
I wish you a nice week ahead of you, and I will see you soon.